Maple Collector here. I'm going to finish up my young tree section today, young and new trees section, before everything changes to summer color. It's been getting a little bit warmer, and my stuff has been out for a while now, most of it a few weeks, so it's starting to change color, just turning more. It's losing its color, its initial color. So anyway, this one's not really small anymore. This is Sir Damon. Got the cool red bark, kind of a it's not as toward the yellow spectrum of red as like a Sengokaku is. It's more toward the blue purple. It's pretty neat. I like Sir Damon. Here's a Shiraz, looking good. I've actually had this one for a while, but it was poorly grafted when I got it. It was a very small liner, and it took a few years to really take off. Now it's started to take off, so looking good. Down here, these really cool leaves. This is Mr. Sun. I had some issues with this one as well at one point. The pot I had it in, it wasn't draining well enough. So either that or the soil I was using wasn't very good. And so I had some fungal issues. I got some spots on the leaves and lost a few branches, but it's doing well now. It's just it's not really growing up anymore. It's kind of spreading out because that leader, I cut the leader off. But looks nice. It's doing well. Here we have Gable's Glory. This is a really cool tree. I love the color changes on this one. The initial color on this one is not nearly as bright as it is now. This is kind of the secondary color, and it looks really nice now. This will turn kind of yellow color, and then it'll get these new fleshes of red on top of the yellow. Really nice introduction. I like this one. Gable's Glory. Acer palmatum Gable's Glory. Go a little farther. It's not leafed out yet. That's Acer sacrum. It's the upright one, the one that's columnare. Yeah, columnare. Acer sacrum columnare. Here we have Firefly. And Firefly is looking good. It doesn't have its initial color anymore. I have it in less sun this year, just to see what it would look like, and I kind of like the color with the sun better. In the sun better. It's got tons of Samaras on it though. Really nice, like red Samaras. Be cool to see what seedlings I get out of those. Turn around here. This cool tree, it's getting pretty big, is Acer Siboldianum Yayoigasa. Yeah, it's getting pretty big. Didn't have room for it out in my display garden. I just ran out of space. I got rid of, gave away a bunch of trees this year, but I still need to give away more. Here's a new one I got. This is Acer Meowtiense, I think it's called. It used to be a subspecies of Acer meobii, but now it's considered its own species, Acer Meowtiense. I probably said that wrong, but back here, next to all my tools, is Yukiyama. Not Yukiyama. Yamanishiki. So that one came out really nice this year. Lots more variegation. I used to only get a few branches of variegation, but now it's almost completely variegated. The stuff that's not as variegated, that's new growth. So the variegations on the older branches. Here we have my big Jordan. I'm probably going to put this one in the ground next year. It's pretty tall. I'd say it's probably at least 10 feet tall. maybe 12 feet tall. This one's always a good one for lots of seeds. And a lot of the seeds come out kind of yellowish color when they're in the sun. I put all the seeds actually in the same pot with it this last year. Lots of weeds. But they're in the shade, so they're not really showing a lot of yellow. But before the Jordans started really coming out, when they popped out, they had some nice yellow to them. Here are some of my seedlings, mostly Matsumura seedlings. This one is Acer passiflorum hybrid, probably Acer passiflorum X japonicum. That one too. This one's just starting to come out. This is one of my favorite little seedlings. So it keeps fairly small leaves. I need to get it grafted pretty soon to see how vigorous it can actually be, and if the leaves stay like that, because this color actually stays on this little seedling for a pretty long time. Really cool looking. More Matsumura seedlings. This one's kind of neat. This one's neat too when it first comes out. It has bigger leaves on it. Here's a bunch more Matsumura seedlings. These seedlings here, most of them except for the passiflorums and this one, these came from Acer palmatum. Actually, it's Acer amoenum subspecies Matsumura elegans, and these came from Sekimori. So all these came from Sekimori. This one didn't come from Sekimori. I think that one maybe came from Acer shirasawanum palmatifolium. Here's my echinidifolium, Acer japonicum echinidifolium. Here, Acer pentaphyllum, just starting to come out. Last year it came out early. This year, this is pretty early for this one. Sometimes it doesn't come out till late May. So it's a really cool, very rare tree. Here we have Acer tenuifolium, Kikanzan. That one's starting to get pretty big too. All these big ones that are kind of tucked over here, I don't have room in my display garden for them, but I don't quite want to get rid of them. The ones that are species, like this one, the tenuifolium and the echinidifolium that I've had for a while, and I've kind of pruned it into this corner. I just keep those mostly for hybridizing. So I like keeping the species trees so I can hybridize them with cultivars and maybe get something cool. Here is a species Acer oliverianum. So in case you want to know what the species looks like, I know a lot of people have hot blonde and hot tamale and hot sauce. This is actually just the species. Here you have one not completely out yet. This is one of the later ones to come out. That's Acer shirasawanum junihito. The leaves on this one are very similar to like an arium. It's just like, I call it the green version of arium. There's my Acer palmatum Fujinami nishiki. It's had some slugs crawling on it. I didn't lay down any slug bait. I probably should. Also, I think from a little bit of drought last year, it's having trouble coming out. So I'll probably have to give this one a little bit of a pruning. But pretty cool colors. I probably pruned out too much of the darker color leaves last year too. Left too many of the light. The lighter, the pink-red color, it burns very easy, and it's just starting to get to the point where it's a little warmer, the sun's a little brighter, and so it'll start burning if I don't put it in like complete shade. Here, this cool one. This is Acer pictum Kamasaki Nishiki. Kamasaki Nishiki. So very nice. Picked them. I see a lot of them that other people have that have a lot more green in them. This one came out like mostly like a really nice pink color with a green. This one's almost wider than my Naguri Nishiki, which is supposed to be wider. I don't know if that's because of my climate, my cool climate, or I just got a nice, I just got a very good graft of it with great color. But it's awesome. I actually, so far, I like it better than the Naguri Nishiki. So I think most people pick the pictures I've seen them aren't as nice as this one. So more Matsumure seedlings. This is that Acer CDH whatever, unnamed species, probably an elegantulum or a variety of elegantulum. Here is Acer shirasawanum. I'll have to come back to that. I can't think of the name of it, but either a branch came down when it was really windy and broke like half of it off. It's a new one for me, so it's coming out. It should still, it'll actually shoot out extra branches because of that and probably end up looking nicer, but that was not my doing. Okay, there's Rainbow, my little rainbow that I've had for many years. It never grows. It grows a little bit, but I think it's so variegated when it was younger that it's kind of like what I did to my Fujinami Nishiki. That's all patchy and weak looking right now. Probably cut out when it started the rainbow. It probably had too much variegation, not enough of the dark leaves, so it was difficult for it to photosynthesize and get nutrients. That's just that's what I'm guessing is going on. So, but I'll get this one back to looking good again, the Fujinami Nishiki. I'm just gonna have to probably fertilize it a little bit and prune it up a little bit so it gets some secondary growth. There we have Rezic, Acer platanoides, Rezic. Really cool, similar to the columnari, but even more slender in nature than that one. We have Benihoshi. That one's, it's cool, but it's not that flashy. Benihoshi. There we have Acer pseudo-Sepuldianum species. I had two of these, but I lost one to wilt, verticillium wilt, which is weird. I think it's because it had a really long, it was a kind of a long leader, and I wanted to cut it back, and I cut it back too late, and it probably gave it a fungus when I did that because I didn't sterilize my pruners. And it got wilt and died. So at least I have two of them, although this one I'm not sure is actual Pseudosebuldianum. I got it from kind of a questionable source, and the leaves do look different, although there's probably some variability. It does look different than the Pseudosebuldianum I got from Mr. Maple, which has leaves like I expect them to be. So this, I don't know what this is. If it's a hybrid of Pseudosebuldianum, or maybe it's Acer Sebuldianum species, I don't know. Anyway, this is Acer miyabii I got this year. Cool species tree. I'm probably gonna bonsai the Miaotianzi and the miyabii, or at least keep them small. I would like to get some seeds out of them because to hybridize these with some other trees. They're not from section Palmata, but I believe they're from the same section as like truncatum and like pictum. So there we have Acer palmatum koi, Makawa seedling. It's real dense. This one hasn't grown a lot for me. It's growing a little bit more this year. I give it a little bit more fertilizer, but it's getting more dense and a little taller. But it's been very slow growing for me. Here's a new cool cultivar. This is a circinatum cultivar called Elias Falls, I believe. Let's see, I got the tag still on it. Elias Pacific Waterfall. Or Elias, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but Elias Pacific Waterfall, Acer circinatum. It's supposed to be a weeping circinatum. It seems to be more like a Nakakomoto weeping type of tree. It's not. The branches kind of are more like twisting as they come out instead of like weeping like a Ryusei type. So that should be pretty interesting. I don't think a lot of people have this one yet. Elias Pacific Waterfall, Acer circinatum. Okay, there we have Acer olivaceum. Really nice species. Looking forward to that one growing up. I got this one last year. Ruby de Sofia. I got this one from Mr. Maple. This is probably the last tree I got. And it was green. I took it out of the box, but with just a little bit of sun, it quickly started turning red. So it's a good looking tree. I like Ruby de Sofia so far. I like the shape of the leaves. I like the color. Looking forward to watching it next year, next spring. So I'll have it when it first comes out. I don't buy a lot of trees when they're already out in leaf, but sometimes I'll grab something if I think it's going to be difficult to get the next year. This one probably won't be. It'll probably be more available next year, but I'm not sure. So I decided to grab one. Here we have, it's kind of dark back here. This is Fukunagashi. We have some flowers on that one. It's hard to see though, so I won't show that one too long. This one's barely worth showing, but this is Acer laevigatum. Really neat in the winter when it turns like a dark red, like the cherry red. And new growth too in the spring is bright red. So really cool. Acer laevigatum Honglong is the cultivar name. This is Naguri Nishiki. I had it in a little sunnier spot, and I got a couple burns on it. But overall, it's a good looking tree. Acer pictum Naguri Nishiki. Here's my big Ruby Ridge. I have to step back to get that one in frame. That's a cool tree, Ruby Ridge. I love these. I've gone over this one. I did a video about it, but it's got these big rugose, dark leaves on it. It doesn't really like the sun too much, though. I mean, you'll get better color out of it if you put it in the sun initially, but as soon as it starts to warm up, you got to get it in the shade because it'll burn. This is Acer elegantulum. This is a little bit bigger Acer elegantulum. This one's really cool when it first comes out. It's kind of a brown-orange color. You can really see the ribs and the leaves, especially when it first comes out. It's definitely an elegant-looking tree. Big leaves on it, though. Back here, this is a newer one. I've had this for a couple years now, though, or at least a year and a half. This is Pink Princess. This is a witch's broom off of Acer palmatum Beni Shichihinge. So that's a really nice one. I like this one. That's definitely a winner. Looking forward to it getting a little bigger. Looks like it's going to be like a bushy, like a bun type, but really nice tree. Pink Princess. Here we have Purple Curl, weird color tree. This one goes through tons of color changes during the year. It definitely looks like, even though it's called Acer palmatum, definitely looks like it has Acer shirasawanum in it. I have it in more shade this year, and it's different color than it was last year. So I really like the color of it when it was in the sun. But I decided to give it less sun this year and see what it does. So it handled the sun fairly well. So this is, I think this is, for me, this is a winner just because it's so different. Some people might not like it because maybe it looks like it has a disease. I mean, I don't think it looks like it has a disease, but I could see somebody saying that. This one's already changing colors, but this one's a knockout. That's Noel. This is a variegated sport off of Shindashojo, I believe. And it looks just like a Shindashojo when it first comes out, and then turns like a magenta color, bright pink magenta color, and then starts to variegate like this. And then it'll actually, this really like magenta color here will turn lighter pink in the summer. But it has nice variegation even in the summer. It's constantly changing. This one's a real winner. I think this is one of the best introductions in quite a while, to be honest with you. Acer palmatum Noel. It can handle, let's say, half day of sun, morning. I would give it afternoon shade. Here we have a new one by Conifer Kingdom. This is Cherry's Jubilee. It doesn't have bright bark on it right now, but I think that's just because when I got it, it was probably in a shade house, and I don't have it in a lot of sun right now. So, but in the fall, I'll probably put it in like a high sun area and see and watch the color change. And I'll let you know if this one is supposed to be brighter red than regular Sengokaku and supposed to hold its color better. So I'll have to evaluate this one for a few years really to get a good answer on if it's worth it or not. But it must be. I mean, why would they just release something and say that if it's not? But right now it's not showing its color. This is Acer palmatum Otaha. It's supposed to be a hardier version of Benihime. So when it comes out, kind of a reddish color with green in the middle. It's fading right now. I don't have it in a lot of sun. Probably more sun, more red, just like everything else. I like this color of it now, though. Very small leaves. That's the whole thing about it. It's like a hime, but it doesn't have hime in the name. It's Otaha. All right, this one is Lima Gold. Decided to try this one out. It's nice. Small Lima Gold. Kind of a Makawa-ish style tree. This one I've been wanting for a little while, but never really pulled the trigger, but it's impressing me. It's a really nice tree. This is Acer circinatum, X palmatum Morton, or I can't remember the patented name on this one. Not the patented, but the trademark name. Morning Starburst, or I think it's Morning Starburst. Yeah, Acer palmatum, X Acer circinatum, Morning Starburst. Cool leaves, really pretty in the spring. Supposed to have amazing red fall color. This one's supposed to be very hardy. I mean, I think it's supposed to be hardy down zone 5, and just a tough tree. It can handle full sun, I believe, although I haven't tried that yet. It's obviously, I'm back in my area. This area does get sun for a couple hours, but that's about it. It gets sun right around 11 to 1 maybe. Here we have Catalina Yatsubusa. This is a neat one. It's supposed to be more of an upright, bushy Makawa seedling type. A nice variegation. Dark green, light green. Here we have Candy Kitchen. Looking a little bit like a Jerry Schwartz right now. It came out kind of a darkish red and then turned like a pink red color, and now it's this right now. So this one I bought from a seller that I hadn't purchased anything from. It was dormant in the winter, and it was supposed to be Acer japonicum Blushing Beauty. I was very I didn't think that I was going to get the real thing, because I'm like, not that many people have Blushing Beauty, and I was really surprised to see it from this seller. So but I bought it anyway, and he offered to give me my money back after it came out. I told him right away it doesn't look like a japonicum because it had real thin branches, and it looked like a weeping dissectum to me. But anyway, it looks to be Hanamatoi, which is something I wanted anyway, so it worked out. But I do wish it would have been Blushing Beauty. But this is Acer Palmatum Hanamatoi. I'm not going to badmouth the guy, though. I won't tell you who it was, because he did offer to refund me. But I just said, nah, don't worry about it. And he did take it down off of his site once I proved it wasn't Blushing Beauty to him. So there we go. This is Lily Pad, Acer Palmatum Lily Pad, another Makawa seedling. Really nice. Or maybe this isn't a seedling. Maybe this is a sport. I don't remember. Anyway, really nice variegation on this one. I think this one. I like Lily Pad too. I mean, they're not Lily Pad. Catalina Yatsubusa. It's got cool variegations. This one's actually very different. I haven't seen another tree with this style variegation on it, actually. There probably is one out there, but I can't think of one. But I really like the variegation on the Catalina Yatsubusa. Reminds me a little bit of Relish, a few others out there that have this light green on dark green variegation, but it's really pronounced on Lily Pad. And then the structure of this one's really nice. So here we have this really pretty pink dissectum. This is Sweet Lorraine, Acer Palmatum Sweet Lorraine. I had it in more sun last year, and it was a darker pink, like almost a neon darker pink, and then it turned red. So I have it in more shade now, and it's a lighter pink. I actually like this better, to be honest with you. So I'll probably keep this one in a less sun area, more shaded area. Acer Palmatum Sweet Lorraine. This is one I just kind of tried on a whim. Tommy Nibluki, or it's also called a Tommy Nishiki. This is Acer Palmatum. Tommy Nibluki. And back here, anytime you see these twigs like this, it had some trouble at some point. I think it dried out a little bit too much, probably late fall. I get kind of lazy on my watering in late October and early November. Luckily this winter was like the wettest winter I can remember since I was a kid. But obviously this one got some damages, had some damaged buds, but it'll come back strong. I'll cut those out, you won't even know. But Jijiao has really nice, like apricot colored branches. It's much nicer in the winter though than it is now. But really cool tree. I was kind of surprised by it. It was sold as more of like an orange bark. I guess it is a type of orange, but it's more like apricot, peachy looking to me. Really like it. I like Jijiao. So anyway, that's it for this one, and I'll probably put put out. I'll do a tour of my display garden here pretty soon because, as I said, it's getting warmer and my trees they're most of them all out now and starting to change to summer colors. So I better get out there before they're all just green. Anyway, I'll see you soon.